yes or no answer. Is the White House going to cooperate with this investigation? Yes or no? I heard a lot of
First of all,
words,
I haven't seen an investigation. I've seen a lot of rhetoric. I've seen talk. I've seen some of the usual partisan assertions and heard them. What I will say is that we have a long history of cooperating with legitimate oversight from Congress, and that cooperation will continue. What I am not going to speculate about is what what the Republicans are up to. It's pretty blatantly apparent based on what they've said and what even other Republicans have said, that this is a highly partisan exercise.
All right, folks, there he is, Jay Carney, and joining us now is Scott Taylor, president of OPSEC, and of course it's a nonpartisan grassroots advocacy organization focused on protecting U.S. Special Operations Forces and national intelligence. Hi, Scott, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Steve. It's great to be with you again. Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, so there's Jay Carney. When asked point blank, will the White House cooperate with this investigation, the special select committee investigation? He doesn't give an answer. We had suggestion from Adam Schiff, Democratic congressman, that Democrats should not participate. What's going on here?
Well, I think, let me preface this by saying I don't think that Jay Carney or the White House gets to interpret what is legitimate oversight or not. They need to cooperate, and quite frankly, it's the White House and this administration is responsible for this select committee even happening, because they weren't cooperating. They haven't been cooperating for almost 20 months now. So, everybody knows about the email that just came out, of course, with Ben Rhodes, Mr. Dude. But that's a perfect example of how they have not cooperated. And that's the reason why we have a select committee in the first place, instead of 5 committees that are disjointed. Now we have one, which OPSEC has been calling for from day one, to have a select committee out there that gets to the bottom, holds people accountable, gets the answers. And that's what's going to happen. And that legitimate oversight is certainly coming, and we're gonna get the documents that we need to hold folks accountable.
Scott, I was going to point out, you as a former SEAL, of course, and you're just back from the region, and you and your group have been calling for a select committee along with some others for a long time, and it was the revelation of that email that, you're right, was not released by the White House voluntarily, but took a court order through Judicial Watch to release that. When they were ordered to release documents related to Benghazi, and then after they release it, Jay Carney goes up and says, oh, the email wasn't about Benghazi. Well, then why'd you release it? But here's the thing. Nancy Pelosi says that she's rebuffed calls from her, like Adam Schiff and others, to boycott the newly announced committee. She called for the committee to be equally divided between Democrats and Republicans. So it sounds like she's on board. But are you afraid that we're going to get stonewalling? We're going to get people saying either taking the fifth or just refusing to answer because it's national security or executive privilege, or there's an investigation into this elsewhere, so I can't comment. Are you afraid we're not going to get the answers when the questions are asked?
No, I'm actually not. Let me answer. You have a couple points in that dialogue
Sure.
there. So let me speak to Nancy Pelosi first. When she was the leader, the Speaker of the House, excuse me, there's no way that the committees would ever be equal. That's not how it works. Whoever's in the majority in the House, that's where the majority is on each committee, every committee. So
Absolutely.
Every committee in the House
Absolutely.
is Republican-controlled. Every committee in the Senate is Democrat-controlled because the Senate's in control there. So I hope that Democrats will absolutely join on Trey Gowdy's committee, as they should. It will not be equal representation. Elections have consequences, and that's the way it is. So maybe the Speaker forgets how to do math now that she's the majority leader or the minority leader, excuse me, rather than the Speaker. But that's not how it's going to work. But no, I think that we are going to get to the bottom of things, and we're going to see some other revelations that come out. Again, when we talked about these 5 different committees and they were disjointed and they weren't able to, like, somebody might be foreign affairs may be responsible for the State Department, but not for the CIA. But now you have one that can go across all of them. Trey Gowdy is an experienced prosecutor, so I imagine that he will absolutely go to the IT officials, and he will be getting information that's in these computer systems, such as the email that just came out, and having those IT officials can go and look at a broad spectrum and have very in-depth searches for specific keywords and things such as that nature. So I think that you're going to see some emails that have come out. For example, where are the talking points that Hillary Clinton used to say that it was via the video? The night of, she had a statement that was released 10 p.m. the night of, and then a couple days after that, she also said it was via the video. But we haven't seen any of those talking points. Where did those talking points come from? Where did the video come from? We know, because of testimony that did not come from the CIA, we know that. We also know now that Judicial Watch, of course, got it via lawsuit. We know that talking points were changed, having to underscore the video via Ben Rhodes. We know that. So where were Hillary's talking points? So those are the types of things that Trey Gowdy can enlist IT, look through all the systems across the board, and find those emails and find who said that it was a video. And my opinion, my humble opinion, it's coming from the White House. And that is a huge problem for America.
Right, and I hope you're right. I hope we do get to the bottom of it. Now, John Kerry, the State Department has said Kerry will not appear on May 21st before the House Oversight Committee. They have subpoenaed him to testify about Benghazi because he had initially said, hey, just come to me. You need anything, come to me. And of course, they've come to him. They've come to the State Department, and they've not been forthcoming. So they decided to subpoena him and call him. And he says he's not going to testify, which to me stinks to high heaven. But I'm not shocked.
Well, we'll see about that. If John Kerry gets a subpoena from Congress and certainly from the Select Committee and doesn't cooperate with it.
Well, this isn't the Select Committee. This is from the before the Select Committee starts. This is for the Oversight Committee. They want him there May 21st, and he says he's not going to that one. So I think that's that's certainly problematic. Hey, so Congress will vote to hold him in contempt of Congress too, and nothing will happen to him either.
If you got nothing to hide, man, go testify. They asked me to come testify. I'll come testify on it. I don't have anything to hide, and these folks, like I said, that's why I think the Select Committee is very important. And when they will have the threat of subpoena and the rule of law, which is what we all have to have as Americans, Democrat, Republican, this is an American issue, and we have to have rule of law. So let him not do that. The thing is, this is why we have a Select Committee anyway, because this administration has not cooperated to legitimate oversight, as Jay Carney put it. This is exactly why we have this. Because they're hiding something, and that's obvious. We've already seen something that they hid now. I think that's the tip of the iceberg.
All right, obviously you're passionate. Obviously, this affects you, and as a SEAL, and when you talk to other people who served as you did, who are still serving, who did serve, et cetera, whether as SEALs or not as SEALs, the passion is there amongst them as well.
Oh my gosh, man! I talk to folks who do what Ty and Glenn do. They're on the contracts to do the same thing that they did, and
you're talking about two of the victims. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so Ty and Glenn, of course, the former Navy SEALs who were on the contract for security there,
right,
who were killed, and they were killed because when the crap hit the fan and there were Americans that were in duress under fire, they refused orders and went in there and saved scores of people, not caring about talking points, not caring about politics. They did what Americans do, and that's run to the fight to rescue other Americans who are under fire. And that is what our commander-in-chief should do, or should have done, and that is what the woman who wants to be the commander-in-chief should have done. So the passion is absolutely there, and it's certainly there amongst those folks too, because they know that what happened was un-American.
Well, quickly, we got less than a minute. We know that Obama was not in the Situation Room. We don't know where he was when Hillary called him. We know that Obama, isn't going to win any friends over this. Is Hillary going to suffer damage, in your view, over Benghazi when she runs?
Well, let me say that, just because the president was in the Situation Room, that doesn't necessarily mean he wasn't doing something. The problem lies in we don't know what the hell he was doing all night long, and then we did know he went to a fundraiser the next day. Absolutely, I believe that Hillary has a huge problem here because we don't know what she was doing. What we do know is that she didn't call for military assets to come into the region, the only people who could have done anything to protect these folks.
Sean, I'm sorry, Sean, we're up against the clock. Great talking to you, sir. We'll certainly keep talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Scott Taylor, I think I said Sean. Scott Taylor, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Steve Malzberg Show. And we're coming back with the Malzberg panel. Yes, that's what it is on the Steve Malzberg Show on Newsmax Television.